You're listening to the once-a-year Infowars.com Money Bomb special transmission. And because 2012 is an incredibly important year, we're going from a special 24-hour broadcast to 48 hours, jam-packed with special guests, calls, breaking news, reports. If you want to see the full roster of amazing special guests and reports that we're going to be airing, as well as guest hosts, be sure and visit InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com.
I want to go to something as we get going here. I want to play a music video, and it's by Joshua Owens. We're going to bring him up right after this, and it's called Humanity is Rising. And this is a great song, especially early in the morning. So go ahead and turn up your radios right now, turn up your TVs, turn up your computers, and let's rock out to some good, hard, I guess it's kind of rock, folk rock music, and hopefully it'll awaken your spirit and get you fired up, especially now. We still got a long way to go in the Money Bomb. We're not even one day into this yet. That'll be at 11 a.m. So without further ado, let's go to Humanity is Rising by Joshua Owens.
Don't let them win you over. That's what they're hoping for. They want to shutter your mind and shackle it to the floor. It's not hard to figure out the lies you're being told. There is a playbook, an agenda, a blueprint, a goal. So open your eyes wide enough to see you're the target they are aiming for. You're the enemy. Now in order to defeat them and take back what is yours, you must expose what is evident, what is clearly coming forth. There is a good, there is a bad, there is a side you have to choose. Don't underestimate what they are willing to do. Don't underestimate what they are willing to do. It's a new world that's coming when the old world's dead. The empire is burning down, we're hanging by a thread. It's time to panic, to react, to stop this war. Humanity is rising and the truth is coming forth. Whoa. Television's there to bide your time. There are lies on top of lies just to rule your mind. The water's unfit to drink, the food is unfit to eat. There is a reason they don't give you time to think. There's a reason they don't give you time to think. It's a new world that's coming when the old world's dead. The empire is burning down, we're hanging by a thread. It's time to panic, to react, stop this war. Humanity is rising and the truth is coming forth. Humanity is rising and the truth is coming forth. Whoa. There is solid proof. With the camps to keep you in, the laws to keep you quiet. Tyranny is here, there is no choice to deny it. But what comes next? We head into the long night. In the info war, we have just begun to fight. But what comes next? We head into the long night. In the info war, we have just begun to fight. In the info war, we have just begun to fight. It's a new world that's coming when the old world's dead. The empire is burning down, we're hanging by a thread. It's time to panic, to react, to stand once more. Humanity is rising and the truth is coming forth. Humanity is rising and the truth is coming forth.
That's right. Humanity is rising. We are awakening. We are beginning that process of realizing that what we know as society is really just a facade. It's a control mechanism to keep us thinking one way, to keep us doing one thing. and not questioning the system. And one person who has done that is my guest, Joshua Owens. And Joshua, are you there?
I am here.
It is great to hear your voice on this early morning. And you're in Georgia, right? So it's 8 a.m. your time, right?
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. So tell us about Humanity Rising. When did you write this song, and when did you decide to put it together into a music video?
Well, I wrote the song about 2 weeks before I posted the video. I wrote the song in about a day, and then I made the video in about 2 weeks, and I just threw it up pretty quickly.
It doesn't look like you threw it up, no pun intended. It looks like you really spent a lot of time in it. You got a lot of creativity. And did you watch a lot of Schoolhouse Rock as a kid?
You know, I didn't, but here lately I've been trying to think of different ways that, I guess, I don't know if necessarily I want to bring, if I've been thinking of different ways to bring people into the truth movement or whatever you want to call it, but also at the same time while sort of reigniting a fire in people who are already in it and who already know what's going on and who hear these awful things day in and day out. And I mean, sometimes it gets to you. I would think oftentimes it gets to you. And I just think sometimes people respond differently to music. So, but no, what Schoolhouse Rock, I started watching videos of that not that long ago, and you know, like the preamble, and I don't know, it just sort of made me excited to, I don't know, it's sort of like simplifying things, but yeah, so.
But it gives you enough information to really get the gist of something. You know, there was one called The Shot Heard Round the World.
Yeah.
And if not for that, I would have never known about Lexington and Concord. And then many years later, I'm actually standing there filming a reenactment on like one of the main anniversaries, and we're there, you know, interviewing a bunch of Oath Keepers. And it was really cool to finally, you know, see that when you're a kid and not really have the context of what happened, and seeing, you know, basically the British were coming for the people's guns, and some rebels stood up in front of them and said, no, you're not going any farther. We're here to stop you. And they didn't fire the first shot. I'm almost positive it had to be the Brits. You know, there's varying accounts of who fired first.
Yeah.
But, you know, history was definitely on our side in that one, because we did persevere mainly through lots of endurance. As they say, we didn't win on the battlefield. We win by just being on the battlefield every time there was a game. And that's kind of how we have to do it. We have to keep getting in people's faces, keep putting out the truth, keep talking to people. And you're really doing that. I really like what you're doing, because music is a really good way to wake people up. It's, you know, especially your tunes. They're pretty catchy. They're easy to listen to. You've got a good voice. Did you play all the instruments in that?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you're, you know, very talented person, and then be able to put it all together as a music video. You know, I do stuff like that, but I only play the bass. I don't really do, maybe a little keyboards here and there in my spare time, which I don't have much of anymore, having kids and everything. But let me get to what woke you up, Joshua, and then how did you discover InfoWars?
Well, I guess it was about 5 years ago, 2007. It was almost to the day. It was the 26th of October, and I had some friends over from out of town, and they started talking to me about water fluoridation and 9/11, which obviously I knew about 9/11, but I'd never heard of Alex Jones, and they brought up Alex Jones. So later that night, I looked him up online. I found Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove, and I watched the whole video that night, and it freaked me out, which it should have done. And I was up the rest of the night looking at videos on InfoWars, watching films. I think he had just come out with Endgame. And I guess figuratively, I've been awake ever since.
Yeah, and, you know, that's how it happens, people. You know, friends come over, start talking about how the real world is working. Somebody mentions Alex Jones. Here's this guy out in Texas who's yelling about it constantly, who's trying to get people awake and who's trying to get people out of that trance. And then there you go. It leads you down that rabbit hole. And, you know, you pretty much educate yourself at that point. All it takes is that, you know, that one push into the rabbit hole, or that one here, take the pill, let's see what happens. And, it, you know, it wakes you up. And so what has been your process? Do you feel more empowered now that you know this information? Are you glad you know this information?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's just amazing that, you know, over and over again, especially with these false flags and these FBI entrapping people, they go over this stuff over and over again. I didn't even cover this article. It just came out. State Department granted New York terror plotter a student visa. So here we see the State Department again being involved, you know, in letting a supposed terrorist who had these connections to Al-Qaeda into the country. And the same thing they did with the underwear bomber. I've put out a couple videos on this, and you can watch the video of Undersecretary Patrick Kennedy, kind of him and haw as he talks about how they didn't pull anybody off this guy's trail because they wanted to see who his bigger network was, even though he didn't really have a bigger network. They knew it was him all along, and he was just there to be a plant. Who knows how his father may or may not have been involved, being a big banker in Africa. But it just stinks to high heavens. What do you think about this new Fed terror plot?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like there's a manual and everything is done the same way. It's almost like you can just see what is happening and you can just immediately tell. It's like it clicks on like, well, this isn't right. Obviously the story they're telling us isn't true. And then now they're just coming out and just saying, well, yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And it has to do with, well, the State Department, once again, doesn't catch anybody. We covered a story recently of a man who was flying to Hawaii to visit his wife. That's where they stopped to refuel. She's somewhere out in the Pacific coast. She's in the Navy. And this man's got shipping these TWIC cards where you have to be approved to work on a ship, because there's a lot of security involved with that. You don't just walk on a ship here in the U.S. of A. You have to go through a vetting process. He just got a concealed carry permit, and then all of a sudden he's on a no-fly list, and he can't figure out why. He's trapped in Hawaii right now, and I believe David Knight is going to have an update from him tonight, so be sure and stay tuned for that. He's going to be coming up a little bit later. In fact, I'll look that up right here and let you know. David Knight will be up, looks like he's coming up at 11 p.m. tonight, so he'll be ending the day as I'm beginning the day, along with Syrian Girl and Dan Badandi. And Russell Dowden had a pretty interesting interview with Phil Berg. If you didn't catch that, you can catch it on the archives. Joshua, what's going to come next? Are you working on any new songs now? We played another one. We're going to play that one coming out of this interview. But what's on the future plate for you right now?
Yeah, I have a couple more songs I'm working on, which as soon as I'm done with those, I'm going to start doing videos for them. And I guess just see what happens. I mean, I really appreciate you guys putting up the videos, getting them out to more people. I wanted to mention this. I thought this was interesting. I was looking at InfoWars yesterday, and I saw an article by Anthony Gucciardi. I think it was originally on Natural Society.
Yeah.
Scientists, creativity is part of a mental illness.
Right, exactly. I saw that one this morning too, and I almost printed that one out, and I couldn't believe it. Creativity is part of a mental. Maybe it is. I'm a little obsessive compulsive about some things. There are certain things that have to be a certain way sometimes, but I also feel I'm a pretty creative person when it comes down to it, and so that's very interesting. So now we're all. Tell us about this article. What struck you about it?
Well, the title struck me. But basically it says if you like to express yourself through painting, writing, music, anything creative, a creative outlet, then now according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, you have a mental illness, which contains over 900 pages of mental disorders, which even the person who wrote, or the lead editor of the DSM, the fourth version of that's coming out, says that there is no definition of mental disorders. So it's just ways to get people on medication and to dumb people down even more.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head there. That's all it is. We, myself and Jason Douglas, flew up to Cincinnati, Ohio about a year and a half ago and interviewed Bruce Levine, who's he's a psychologist, and he deals with a lot of kids, and he is not one for pushing drugs on kids, big pharma drugs. He tries to get them off of those because He says, you know, and his big thing was these DSM books, because they say one thing is a mental disorder for years and years, and then through political pressure or corporate pressure, it suddenly doesn't become a mental illness. And they're over and over again, all they do is try to figure out ways to get people drugged. And this is something that I guess President Bush started. We were covering that earlier on a nightly news with Alex, where he, you know, it's this Bush New Freedom Initiative where they want to test everybody for mental illnesses, do all this screening. But really, it's not really screening. It's a net, and I guess it is a screen in a certain way, but it's a net to catch you and get, you know, at least half the population on psychotropic drugs in one form or another, to create these lifelong customers, because these are pills that once you get on them, you can't just stop. You have to either wean yourself on them or take other ones for the side effects. It's really disgusting. And what kind of issues are you most interested in when you get on InfoWars and check out the information? What's the kind of stuff that really pushes your buttons?
You know, there's a lot of things, but I mean, GMOs, that issue, vaccines. I mean, when you hear that kids are being vaccinated at school without parental consent, and then there is thimerosal, mercury in vaccines, there is MSG, there is
cow fetal cells or so bovine fetal cells.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in these things. I've done a lot of looking into the vaccine issue. I've got 2 kids, and let me tell you, I got the insert of every vaccine they wanted to inject my children with, and on every single one of them, you can look this up. It says, has not been tested for cancerous or mutagenic potential. On every vaccine insert, not the little paper that they give you, but the insert that comes folded up with it, has not been tested for cancerous or mutagenic potential. Those words alone are enough to make me go, no, thank you. I don't want anything that you haven't tested to see if it causes cancer, because there's enough stuff out there that causes cancer that you say is good for us, which is going to take us to our next video, which is called Good For You. Why don't you tell us about this song?
This is a song that sort of stemmed. I mean, it stemmed from the joke that is the coming up presidential election, and I just think a lot of people get interested in politics around this time period. But you know, and you talk to people, and people even say, "Well, yeah, I mean, I know that what they're saying probably isn't going to be what they're saying after they get elected," and it's all. I don't know. It just came from sort of anger. So that's why it's, you know, I'm being sarcastic about it's good for you, because fluoride in your water is not good for you. These poisons in vaccines not good for you. The poisons in foods not good for you. And I guess sometimes you get so angry about things that you just sort of have to laugh.
Or give a battle cry. Yeah! Just like
Exactly.
that. That'll wake you up in the morning. You know, you get up, you see this information over and over again. You know the system is just pushing poison on us left and right from every direction, and it really makes me mad. And I'm really glad to see you taking that anger and putting it into a creative outlet. And we need more people to do this. We don't just need one Joshua Owens out there. We need lots of them. Joshua, let me ask you about, you know, the money bomb. How important is it for alternative types of news to get out there? How important is it for people to contribute to the money bomb today?
Oh, it's extremely important. Extremely important. I can't stress how important it is, because I don't know if I would be where I am, the knowledge that I have now, if it wasn't for Alex Jones and the InfoWars team. I mean, millions of people wouldn't be awake to certain things that are going on, like with the Federal Reserve or GMOs or anything we've been talking about. I may not even be talking about this right now. And I mean, it's not like it's just a platform for people to get to go and to listen to information that's important. I mean, this can end up saving people's lives. I mean, it can inform people, like what we were talking about vaccines. It can inform people to make better decisions about their children. I mean, that's huge. So, I mean, yeah, you definitely need to go, and you definitely need to donate money, and you definitely need to listen, and you need to send people over to InfoWars. I mean, it's more important than I can even say.
Spreading the word is bigger than even donating, but donate if you can. Go to InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. You know, 10, 20, 100, 1,000. We do have, if you go to, let's see, $365, you get the Money Bomb t-shirt. If you do $500, you get the t-shirt and 5 DVDs. And if you go to $1,000, you get the DVD, the t-shirt, and it's the Money Bomb t-shirt. It's that camo with the orange look. Dan was wearing it earlier. And you also get a megaphone, which is now being auctioned off. I believe that megaphone is being auctioned on eBay. One of them, we have a few of them that Alex has signed and put its own unique message on it. It looks like it's going over $500 right now, and you can get to those links to the eBay auctions. We have a lot of cool items there, right on the Money Bomb page, InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. Any way you can support us, if you can get a PPTV membership, it all helps. It all helps in the fight. I've really seen this operation grow since I've been here. I'm now one of the elder statesmen of this operation, and there's definitely more people who've come after me than have been before me, and it's really cool to bring people in from all over the United States and continue this fight. And Josh, we're going to go out now with a song called "Good for You." It's another wake me up song. I really think this is a good one, although "Humanity is Rising" right now is my favorite. And just to let everybody know, I put his YouTube title name up there. You can go there, and you could also download these songs if you want to. And what I think is cool, you have a pay whatever you want type price, and I think that's a pretty cool thing because it's like giving it away. But hey, if you really want to contribute, please do. And that's how I think the future of media is going. You know, support it if you really like it, if you're a real fan, if you want to see it continue. But also get it out and spread the word, because that's how we wake up more people, by spreading the word. Word of mouth is more powerful than any form of advertising out there. Josh, I'm going to give you the final comments, and we're going to go to your video.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. Thank you guys for putting my video out. One thing I wanted to say that's really, really great about InfoWars is that there are so many different kinds of people that you guys have on that cater to, well, it doesn't really cater to anybody, but it reaches so many different people on so many different levels. So I just wanted to end with, I know David Icke is coming up in a little bit, which, you know, some people disagree with him. I'm not saying I disagree with everything he says, but, you know, it's all about speaking the truth and trying to get out there and understand different things. But I read a quote from him the other day that says, you can dam a stream and you can dam a river, but you can't dam a tidal wave. And you can suppress humanity and goodness and justice and discernment in certain settings, and we see that all the time. But with those involved in this movement, we are the tidal wave, and you can't dam us. You can't dam the truth. So thank you guys so much for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on, and you're right, and David Icke is right. You cannot dam the truth, because it will seep through the cracks, because any time the truth has the ability to seep through and get some light and grow up like that weed in the sidewalk, it will do it. And with that, we're going to go to Josh's other video that we posted a few months back. Check those videos out. We have there's two articles. One is music video, talks about the left-right paradigm, and the other one is music video, talks about the rise of the robots. I thought it seemed like he had gotten the latest issue of InfoWars magazine, which is right here. And you can get a subscription. I did a little video passing these out. It was a lot of fun. That is online. We should have an article coming out today about that contest. But anyway, let's go to it now. It's good for you, people.
If you're looking for change, you might try another place, cause the candidates you're looking at are basically the same. There's one on the left and one on the right. Only difference the direction they are facing when they lie. It's a great big game and you are the pawn, a willing contender when you choose to play along. Well, don't be fooled, don't be forced to choose between two men that are controlled by the same machine. It's the same old story, truly it is. Another cast of characters pretends to give a shit about you and me, or whoever votes. Their end game is obviously not what we were told. They want war and destruction, mass death and more. They'll call the population, taking vaccines door to door. A little poison in your water, a little poison in your food. But don't you worry, they say walk out of turn. Don't question, don't think. The TSA's coming, the bomb test returning. So just sit back, there's nothing you can do. Rest assured, 'cause they know what's best for you. Now when November rolls around, just keep this in mind. You've always got a choice, so choose to decline. To pick a lesser evil, to choose from what you've got. With both sides the same, there's no side to get behind. So just stand together, don't take this anymore. Just keep on fighting in this information war. You aren't the only one you have to answer for. So just keep on fighting in this information war. Keep on fighting in this information war.
All right, and we are back live. It is the 2012 InfoWars Money Bomb. 2 days to wake up the world. You can contribute at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. You can also call 888-253-3139. And I will give out the call-in number in a second, and we will be able to take calls. I especially want to do that in the next hour.
Visit InfoWars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the sites, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.